Thank you for tuning in and welcome back, team. In today's episode of Real Estate Investing, you'll learn how to get financing for rental properties. My name is Andrew Finney, your real estate geek. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Thank you. Okay, team, so let's talk about this. This is pretty exciting stuff, especially when we're talking about real estate investing and ways to get started now. So there's a couple of different things right off the top that you should know. Number one, you have an option to actually buy a rental property as an owner-occupant. This is the most common kind of loan whenever someone thinks about buying a home. It's an owner-occupant type loan that most people are getting. The second way is buying it as a straight out rental property. Let's talk about some of the differences in the ways that you could do this as it pertains to financing a property. Number one, buying as an owner-occupant is going to enable you to have a lower down payment and a lower interest rate. It comes as a surprise to a lot of families when I chat with them, and it actually came to a surprise to me even when my loan officers had first taught me about the FHA and VA loan types when I got started in real estate, that you can actually buy multifamily properties with an FHA or VA loan so long as you live in one of the units as a primary occupant. So that's pretty cool stuff, because if you go out and you get yourself like a duplex, a triplex, or a quadplex, and you're just getting started in real estate investing, what better way to do so than making the first one be one that you can actually live in one of the units, use one of the best loan types available, being an FHA or VA loan, and you can go ahead and live in one of those units as an owner-occupant and rent out the other three. I'm thinking about this and I'm just kind of like poof, blown. Whenever I was younger, I was thinking, you know, if I would have known about this, I probably would have snapped it up in a heartbeat to be able to go buy a duplex, triplex, or quadplex, rent out the other three. I wouldn't even be paying a mortgage, and I'd be getting paid on top of it. Sweet deal, sweet ride. Definitely one of the ways that you want to consider getting into real estate investing and building up your rental portfolio is doing just that. Consider that one, because that's a pretty cool thing. Now, there are some tips that you should know about doing that, and you want to make sure that any renovations or upgrades that you do to any rental property, even if you're starting out in the beginning of buying a duplex, triplex, quadplex, what have you, to get your balls rolling with the FHA, VA loan types and getting into the door of real estate investing, then you want to be careful about what kind of renovations and upgrades you do to those properties. Make sure that they're good, make sure they're livable, make sure that they're healthy and well-maintained properties, but be selective and only buy a property that you're willing to live in. Now, when we say buy a property that you're only willing to live in, that's going to be a good rule of thumb for any rental property that you consider moving forward. If you wouldn't want to live in it, why would you buy it and force someone else to live into it and pay you for it? I mean, come on. You know, if you're happy to live in it, perfect. So, and then if you are taking that path of the multifamily approach, then after 12 to 36 months, essentially, you live in that property, build up some money, you come up with a down payment, and get ready to do it again. You can refinance out of that first multifamily property, put it into a conventional loan. Ideally, you want to have at least a 20% what's called loan-to-value ratio in that property, so you'll drop the mortgage insurance premium, and you won't have any of that. And you can go out and get yourself another first home, buying another duplex, triplex, quadplex, what have you, using your FHA or VA loan again, so long as the other loan was financed out of and put into a conventional, everything's good. So the second way that you can get in this is buying a straight up rental property. Now, when I'm talking about a straight up rental property, now the dynamics have changed as far as your loan program, the down payment that is going to be necessary. Generally, you look at investors that are putting down 20% to 25% to be able to qualify for an investment loan for a rental property or a second home, if you will. Some may let you go as low as 10% down. That being said, when you compare it to the first option of maybe a 3.5% down FHA or a no down payment VA loan, it's pretty staggering when you start talking about second homes and other investment type properties. Keep in mind, your down payment is going to be much, much higher. You're looking at 20 to 25% down. Some lenders, again, may be able to go down to 10% down, which can really help, but it's important for you to know that. So when you're looking at a property like that, then you're probably thinking, hey, if I'm going to have to come up with that kind of scratch to be able to buy another rental property, then I would like to have a tenant in place. And that's awesome, because there's always properties on the market where you have one investor that's liquidating their portfolio for whatever reason in life that already has tenants in place. And if you do that, then there are some significant advantages because you already have the security deposit from the seller in closing and some of the prorated rent coming in. You probably are going to be collecting on the first months of rent before your first mortgage payments even due. Once you close, there is no vacancy, so you don't have to find a tenant, and you probably won't have to rehab the property until they leave. So there are some benefits to buying a property that already has a tenant in it if it makes sense for your situation. Be prepared to have a very, very good credit score. When I'm talking about very, very good credit score for these type of programs, generally it's going to take a 720 or 720 credit score and up is going to get you the better terms and rates. You want to talk to local loan officers in your area to find out what kind of investment products that they have. You know, the lenders that I work with here in Las Vegas, Nevada, they both have loan programs designed specifically for investors, which can actually assist you in getting up to 10 rental properties with and go through them, so long as you get yourself at 20% loan to value equity in each one of those properties. Now, if you have questions about that, obviously I'm a trusted real estate advisor. They're the loan officer. Go ahead and talk to them. If you want me to introduce you to them, please let me know. So be prepared for the rates. Lastly, be prepared for the rates, cost, fees, and tax implications on investment properties. Before you start biting off on rental property and investment property, make sure that you're having a great conversation with your accountant or your tax professional. Understand any kind of tax implications that you may have that are going to arise from owning that property, as well as any other tax benefits that you may have as well. Since the taxation code seems to change every single year, then there's always going to be some kind of change that you should be aware of. Is there a JOB to know how to get that done? Ask them and share your experiences with us in the comment section below. Speaking of comment section below, tell me what you got from this video. What really stood out for you? Was it like point one that you can actually buy a duplex, triplex, or a quadplex with an FHA or VA loan, so long as you're living in one of those units? Or was it the fact of point two that buying a straight out rental property with a tenant in place can be a very smart move to getting into real estate investing? Tell us what you're thinking about this, along with any of your savvy financing for rental property tips in the comment section below. If you have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and pop up my contact information, even if you want to drop me a line to say hello. Absolutely love to hear from you. Now, if you haven't already done so, I'm going to ask you to do three things. Number one, please subscribe to this channel. Number two, please like this video. Number three, please share this video around with someone you know is going to be able to help. In between now and next time, team, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Enjoy an amazing day.